Hi, welcome to KadiMusic. As I mentioned on my previous video, my computer broke down a few weeks ago. So I took the opportunity to do some repairing and cleaning. Today, I'm repairing my realistic Concertmate MG-1 made by Moog. This unit is from 1981 and it's still in pretty good shape. I bought it a few months ago with the idea to clean it up, restore it, and even change some parts. Luckily, I was able to find parts on eBay. So I ordered one slider and one switch and some knobs. The idea is to use this synth in my setup. The sound is pretty amazing for such a little instrument. Thinking about it, finally my computer breaking down was not such a bad thing. I was finally able to do this, and I've been waiting for months to do it. It also gives me the perfect opportunity and time to think about my setup, how I want to integrate my analog synthesizers with my computer, for instance. Doing this for me is like some kind of meditation. I'm busy with my hands, thinking about nothing and everything at the same time. It helps me to focus and to look forward on what I want to do and achieve. I'm already looking forward and thinking about how I can use this synth in my productions and how I can explore new sounds with it. I've used it a couple of times before, together with some effect pedals, but some parts were not working, like the peak, for instance. That's the slider I'm replacing now. So to achieve some sounds I had to find a workaround. But hopefully this is gonna work now. I'm pretty happy with my modest soldering job, and after replacing the slider for the peak, I replaced this little switch, which is used for the keyboard tracking. I found that the best way for me to keep track of all the parts and to make sure everything was getting back at the right place was to tag. So I tagged. And I did the same thing with the black keys. Removing the keys is really easy. You just have to push on it. There's a spring underneath and then it's loose. And before removing any black keys, you have to remove the white one, just like I did right here, because otherwise it's stuck. During the entire process of removing things and unscrewing stuff, I was really amazed at how all those parts still look very good for a 40-year-old synth after all. I wanted to cover as much as I could in the process of doing this project, removing parts, cleaning, soldering, putting everything back together. So sometimes what I did is just speeding up the video in order for it to continue at a decent pace, but also to still keep the information there. I took the time to do some research before starting the project. Before disassembling the synth, I was able to find original schematics from Moog, which are very complete. with information on all the different electronic parts, their value, what they do, and even an illustration on how to change the keys, for instance. On some websites or blogs I was also able to find some information, but it was more on how to mod the synth. After searching YouTube, I was able to find videos of people restoring this synth. It was really useful because I was able to see what it looked like inside, even before having to remove one screw. So thank you for sharing, because it really helped me out, and I also hope that this video will help someone else with their project. Because if you're like me and you don't have the knowledge, or you didn't do the studies and you're just learning this on yourself, it helps to see how it's made, or to see someone else do it, to give you that confidence and do it yourself. It may sound a little funny or strange, but doing this, especially this part, was really gratifying. Look at it. I cleaned the keys as much as I could, and what I did afterwards is use some polish to finish everything. It leaves a little coat in order to protect the surface. It works really well. The felt strips on which the keys are resting were in a bad shape, so I removed everything and replaced them. This is actually my second try. The first time around, the strips were too thick and the keys were not able to go deep enough in order to make the contact. There are two little connectors underneath and they need to make the contact. If they don't, there is no sound. This time it works really well. The keys are moving properly. Now I will proceed to put everything back in place, and after this part I'm going to test everything. Put everything back together and see if the keys are still pushing those connectors together properly in order to have sound. If it doesn't work, I will have to disassemble and start again. During this project I disassembled and rebuilt the synthesizer 3 times, just to make sure that everything was still working when I made the change, just like here. Or even when I changed the slider, I just needed to be sure that everything was still working. Which didn't bother me, because after all, I knew how it worked and I was able to do it more quickly each time. So here I decided to connect everything back together, just in order to make a little test and see, or rather hear, if it's still working. if and when you do this, just make sure to isolate every electronic part. It could be dangerous. Like I said before, this instrument can produce amazing sounds. When I acquired the synthesizer, there was already a custom-made port on the back, this one. I don't know what it was supposed to do, and I don't even know why it was connected to the panel, but if you have any idea, feel free to comment. I'm curious about what it was supposed to do. Now I'm putting everything back together one last time, I hope, for a while. I really enjoyed the process, taking everything apart and figuring out how to put it back together, just like a puzzle. And I hope it's going to work for a while and I will be able to use it in my productions as much as I want to. Thank you for watching. This was KadiMusic Workshop.